Everyone kept telling me that London would be a fresh start.
What brings you here then?
My mom married this British guy.
You get to meet Nick tonight at the gala.
Complete strangers living together.
I think you're gonna like it.
The story of My Fault, London, grows like a restless heartbeat in the middle of a city that never stops moving. Every corner of the streets feels charged with a mixture of old memories and new desires, as if London itself becomes a character, watching every choice, every secret, and every collision of emotions. The moment the narrative shifts to this city, everything becomes sharper: the noise, the consequences, the tension that rises like fog across the River Thames. The journey is marked by a strange pull between freedom and fear, love and danger, and the lingering shadows of unresolved pasts that follow the characters like ghosts through the night. What begins as a simple shift in location becomes a complete redefinition of the emotional battlefield, turning London into a place where every decision hits harder, every confrontation cuts deeper, and every moment of connection feels more intense than the last. In this imagined continuation, London is not a sanctuary, but a challenge. Its glittering skyline promises reinvention, yet its narrow alleys remind everyone that running from the past doesn't erase it. As the characters settle into this new environment, the weight of unspoken truths begins pressing against them more heavily than ever before. The city magnifies their flaws, their desires, and the unresolved tension that has followed them across borders and across their hearts. Even the smallest interactions feel amplified. Every glance carries meaning. Every silence becomes dangerous, and every flicker of emotion threatens to burst into something impossible to control. There is a sense that London has the power to expose everything they tried so hard to hide. The delicate balance between love and chaos becomes more fragile as new surroundings test the limits of trust. Small misunderstandings transform into explosive arguments, fueled by the intensity of the city and the struggles of adapting to a place that seems to demand strength at every turn. The characters learn that London does not bend for anyone. It forces you to confront yourself. And in this process, cracks begin to show not just in their environment, but within their hearts. No matter how hard they try to protect each other, the city's relentless pace demands sacrifices that neither expected to make. The emotional distance grows even when they are physically close, creating a storm that feels impossible to calm. As the story evolves, London becomes a stage for moments that feel almost cinematic in their intensity. Late-night confrontations under flickering streetlamps. Quiet conversations whispered in the echoing halls of old buildings. Sudden confessions shared on rooftops overlooking the restless river. Each scene feels charged with tension and vulnerability, as though the city itself pushes them toward truths they have avoided for too long. The air carries a blend of anticipation and dread, reminding them that choices made here will follow them for the rest of their lives. And still, even in the chaos, there is a strange beauty in their connection, a feeling that something powerful is taking shape, something worth fighting for even when the world seems determined to pull them apart. The relationships at the heart of the story deepen in ways neither expected. The intensity of London forces them to face insecurities that once remained hidden beneath comfort and routine. Jealousy flares more quickly, passion burns more fiercely, and doubt creeps in through the cracks left by silence. Yet, at the same time, moments of tenderness become even more meaningful. A quiet touch while crossing a crowded street. A shared smile in the middle of an overwhelming day. An unexpected gesture that reminds them why they held on so tightly in the first place. These small sparks of connection shine even brighter against the backdrop of confusion, reminding them that love often grows strongest in the places where survival feels uncertain. London introduces new challenges, that reshape the story's emotional landscape. Responsibilities become heavier. Expectations rise, and the pressure to maintain balance becomes a constant battle. There is a sense that the city tests their commitment not through dramatic events alone, but through the quiet, relentless weight of everyday life. The noise never stops, and neither does the pressure. Their relationship becomes a test of patience, loyalty, and resilience, pushing them to discover how much they can withstand before something finally breaks. And as each day passes, the unspoken question lingers in the air: is love enough to survive the storm brewing around them? Moments of vulnerability begin shaping the direction of their journey. Secrets they once believed buried start resurfacing, dragging with them the emotions they thought they had overcome. Old mistakes return like echoes, reminding them that growth requires honesty even when the truth feels painful. This emotional awakening forces them to confront who they were, who they have become, and who they fear they may still be. In the heart of London, surrounded by strangers and noise, they discover that the most difficult battles are fought within themselves, and each revelation threatens to change the course of their future, for better or worse. The city also becomes a place of unexpected discovery. Amid the tension and uncertainty, they find new strengths they never knew they had. They learn to rely on themselves as much as each other. They uncover resilience forged from hardship, courage found in vulnerability, and determination shaped by love. London, with all its chaos, becomes a teacher showing them the difference between holding on and holding back, between fighting for someone and losing themselves along the way. This growth becomes a silent transformation, pushing them toward a deeper understanding of what truly matters. As the emotional journey intensifies, the bond at the center of the story evolves in beautiful and painful ways. Passion burns brighter, but so does the fear of losing one another. Every argument feels like the end. Every reconciliation feels like a beginning. London amplifies everything: their hopes, their doubts, their dreams, their fears. The city becomes a mirror, reflecting the most vulnerable parts of their hearts, forcing them to decide whether their connection is worth the challenges that surround them. The answer is never simple, and the tension between desire and uncertainty becomes a constant force shaping their every decision. The climax of their emotional conflict begins simmering beneath the surface, building slowly like a storm gathering over the skyline. Unspoken words form barriers between them, even as longing pulls them back together. The weight of expectations grows heavier, and the fear of heartbreak becomes more real than ever before. Yet moments of clarity emerge, offering glimpses of hope. A tearful apology, a desperate embrace, a silent understanding shared beneath gray London skies. These moments remind them that love, no matter how complicated, is worth fighting for when it is built on truth and trust. The journey toward healing becomes a quiet yet powerful transformation. They begin recognizing the importance of communication, honesty, and vulnerability. They learn that strength is not about hiding emotions, but acknowledging them. They discover that love survives not because it is perfect, but because two people choose to fight for it even when everything seems impossible. London becomes the backdrop for this transformation, a city that challenges, reshapes, and ultimately strengthens the connection that once teetered on the edge of collapse. As the final emotional arc unfolds, the characters find themselves facing the truth of who they are and what they truly want. The chaos of the city fades into the background as they confront the fears that once controlled them. And in this newfound clarity, they rediscover the bond that brought them together in the first place. Their love becomes quieter but stronger, steadier but deeper, shaped by everything they have endured. London no longer feels like a battlefield, but a place where transformation becomes possible, where love evolves into something more grounded, resilient, and real. The ending of their journey in London leaves behind a sense of lingering emotion, as if the city continues breathing through their story long after the final moment fades. It becomes a reminder that love is never simple, never predictable, and never without challenges. But it is also a reminder that even in the most overwhelming places, connection can grow, hearts can heal, and two people can find their way back to each other through honesty, courage, and unwavering devotion. The city remains etched into their memories as the place where everything changed, where love was tested, broken, rebuilt, and ultimately strengthened by the storms it survived. And as the story settles into its final rhythm, the message that remains is clear. Some journeys are not just about where you go, but about who you become along the way.